Happy July 12th, 2022. Better Brainiacs, YouTubers, and others. This is your host, Danny Zen, coming to you live from the Northern Hemisphere. It's going to be a really fast-paced, kind of all over the place video. You do want to listen up if you know anyone or yourself suffering from a chronic degenerative disease, or you just want to have a ton of energy, feel vibrant again, have real health insurance, age well, reduce your risk of all those feared, dreaded neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's. I recently came across some of the teachings and preachings of a neurosurgeon out of Destin, Florida. That's in the panhandle of Florida, along the Gulf coast of the Gulf of Mexico coast. And this is his website right here. Let me see if you can see it here. Mr. Jack Kruse, that's his website. However, it's spelled JACKKRUSE.com. I've been listening to a ton of podcasts that are featuring him. He does have an optional, you can pay for one of his Patreon membership levels or his, what's called his club, what is it called? Optimal Health Club membership with a K, okay. I'm about to invest in that too, because more important than you and I both know than time or money is your health. Once those people that have lost it, you know what I mean. There is nothing you would sacrifice. I literally have disconnected my what's called a helium hotspot device that's been mining me helium cryptocurrency just because of my concerns of the radio frequencies that is emitting. My health is worth even more than $1 million per month. Okay, I hope you guys feel the same as well. So this is a book that Dr. Neurosurgeon Jack Kruse, who is controversial. He's a paleo blogger as well. And again, his website, I'll have it below in the description of the video, but I've never spoken to him or contacted him. But again, his website is JACKKRUSE.com. There are some golden nuggets. In a nutshell, the three-legged stool of health, according to Dr. Jack Kruse, is the photoelectric effect. I won't get into in depth in any of these too much or at all, but you can Google that, okay? The second-legged main stool of his health philosophy is water chemistry, specifically the work of Dr. Gerald Pollack, that's P-O-L-L-A-C-K. I'll try to include a link to his famous book, The Fourth Phase of Water. I have not personally read it, but I heard it's an easy read. You definitely want to read that if you're serious about living a life of vitality and great clarity of mind, concentration, focus. Okay, so water chemistry is the second-legged stool of health, foundational stuff. And then the third is electromagnetic force. That could be grounding, magnetism. And so not only he, but others have talked about something called primary nutrition. Primary nutrition, from my understanding, it's not just food, it's even more fundamental, okay? And that's things like sunlight, my goodness, just sunshine. There's tons of studies that saying people could have reduced the risk of COVID, among a ton of other things. If you just have proper vitamin D levels, okay, I'll include hopefully a playlist to my a link to my vitamin D playlist on my betterbrain101.com YouTube channel. I haven't read this book by neurosurgeon Jack Kruse, but it is called the Epi-Paleo Prescription, the prescription for disease reversal and optimal health. That's Epi-Paleo RX. Okay. He did speak at a Paleo RX conference or expo back around 2011 or 2012, I believe. So what he is advocating, and I kind of agree with him. 2/3 of nutrition is really intracellular hydration, sunlight, and magnetism. And far behind, actually another thing is circadian biology or rhythms. I will include a link to a Dr. Sanchin Panda, who's been on YouTube regarding optimizing one's health just by following a proper daily cycle and following the rules of circadian biology and our daily rhythm. Circadian means around a day or around 24 hours for those that don't know. So we all know that shift workers or maybe hospital workers, people who are graveyard, they have a higher incidence of cancer, other chronic degenerative diseases, maybe obesity, diabetes type 2. And I think the National Institute of Health has stated that shift worker or graveyard shift is a probable or definite carcinogen. That meaning can lead to cancer. So definitely very, very important stuff. So I am definitely not going to be focused on nutrition, food, diet as much as some of these other levers that we can pull each and every day. The other things that Dr. Jack Kruse preaches, this is from one of his podcast interviewers' websites. His health priorities, again, as I mentioned, is circadian rhythm. This is from Mr. Joe Cohen's selfhack.com website. Okay. And really important. I'll try to keep a link for this as well. Okay. You don't want to break these rules. We're animals, and we've got biological I don't know, mandates. So it's really, really important. Even in Chinese medicine, my stepmother's an acupuncturist, South Miami. Each organ system, has a period of 2 hours or so that's more active than other organs. So, very, very important. Okay. Now I'll just cut to the chase. If you want to have total flexibility in your work schedule, you don't want to be tied down to a job, job, or structured in a cubicle or whatever. The only thing I can say to you is just join me in one of my handful of part-time home-based businesses. Many of them are multi-level network marketing. And the link for that, I'll have a link in the description below this video, but you can go directly to it. The link is freedomfrom9to5.org. So you can build your dreams instead of somebody else's dream. Again, that's freedomfrom9to5.org. But most importantly is have the flexibility so you can do your morning walks, not rush to work or fight traffic, punch in. You can take your kids to school on time. Get the vitamin D when the ultraviolet B's rays are maximum, usually around noon. Okay, like I do now. Right now, I'm getting about at least 30, 45 minutes, even though summertime sun. I want to maximize my vitamin D levels. Really, really important. Okay. So that's his first priority is, following the circadian rhythm, our biology, the circadian clock. The next is actually surprising, and that's DHA. It's one of the most talked about long chain omega-3 essential fatty acids. I didn't dive into why he states as his number 2, but you can go on to that selfhack.com website. And third, most important, according to Dr. Jack Kruse, is limiting blue light, and then specifically, from any screens like computers, laptops, tablets, your smartphone, and so on and so forth. Obviously, I'm being really religious now, and I'm cutting off my computer now like 3 hours before I'd like to fall asleep. So if I want to fall asleep at 8:30, like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, my computers are shut off at 5:30, maybe even 5 p.m. just to make it more easy to remember. Okay. He talks about limiting also exposure to what's called non-native electromagnetic fields. That's just basically all electromagnetic fields that's man-made and not background or naturally occurring in nature. RF stands for radio frequencies. Okay. And the fourth is something I'm going to need to be doing. I'm currently drinking distilled water, even though I do add in some salt or my marine phytoplankton called Oceans Alive, or maybe some Lugol solution of iodine or some fulvic humic acids. He actually just drinks spring water from various sources, depending on the time of year. Okay, like Mountain Valley spring water from Arkansas. There's dozens. You can go to Whole Foods and get the different brands. Definitely get one in glass, obviously. And then the fifth health priority is sleep, of course. And then 6 is cold. He's really into cold therapy, or I think it's just called cold therapy. Subjecting yourself to a pretty cold water, especially 55 degrees, I believe he states. Next is minimizing psychological stress, and a distant 8th is exercise or movement. Okay, so that's pretty much what I've gathered from him. Again, his main things: circadian rhythm, biology, proper intracellular hydration. I will go into a deeper dive into structured water, and how even just and other things you can maximize your hydration. I'm still becoming a researcher and becoming more credible in that area. There are obviously notable people that are far ahead of me in that regards. Okay. And then, like I said, he's into what else? Yeah. So I hope this was helpful. The other things I just want to share with you that I came across was I recently moved my voice over internet protocol to my balcony. That's my UMA, OOMA.com, which is like a magic jack just to minimize the electromagnetic fields. I already have my wireless router on the balcony. It's always corded and wired. I'll do another deeper dive on my computer setup. I never have my laptop power cord plugged in if I'm using it. I've got a wired computer mouse that's, even though it's USB, it's not optical. It's a good old fashioned mechanical ball rolling type mouse. Okay. I have an earthing pad underneath the mouse as my mouse pad, and that's earthing.com. I'll include a link for my affiliate link. I'm going to be investing in a ground rod stake because even though it's plugged into an outlet, it's still 60 hertz of, potentially dirty electricity. So all my earthing products are kind of no use, according to Dr. Jack Kruse. I do have a wired or corded keyboard. So I've done as much as I possibly can. I've got some metal things covering the bottom of my laptop. I never have it on my lap. It's always, far away, maybe like a foot away from me. What else can I say? So I'll do another deeper dive where I actually show my computer setup for those that are really, really curious. So bottom line, more important nutrition is minimizing DNA damage, DNA hits coming from all these electronics. Okay, it could be the explanation for some rise in ADHD, ADD in both adults and children. I'm trying to limit my screen or computer use time to 2 hours or less per day by going out and doing, prospecting in person, meeting people, socializing, doing some of my business meetings more in person, like good old fashioned time. So anyways, that's it for now that I can think of. And I'll try to include as many of the links below so you can go research on your own. Okay. And oh, another thing I found out about this website about where the locations of 5G wireless towers are, the new 5G network, 5th generation. He is really, really stressing the harms of that. That's something that you want to be proactive in and research about. I will include some links to some videos and maybe upload some other people's 5G videos with their permission, okay? But for the time being, the one website that I came across, I have not done my due diligence regarding the accuracy of these cell phone wireless carriers having in these locations. But if you can see here, this is the website from speedtest.net/UCLA-5G-map, showing the location of where commercial available 5G wireless antennas are already set up, some with limited availability. Okay, you can again go to speedtest.net/OOKLA-5G-MAP, and I will include a link for this in the description below the video. Okay. Anyways, check out freedomfrom9to5.org. That's your only hope to have the finances to have more choices. If you want, you can move to Central America, South America to get away from all this, mayhem caused by 5G, or just to have more sun exposure by being closer to the equator, to have more real natural food. Okay. So take care. Thank you for your kind time, attention. Hope everyone had a great 4th of July weekend. Be well.